Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lanz MacDonald. As you guys can see by the title today, I want to talk about how to avoid getting played and identifying the signs of a player. I have gone through some experiences in my life, made some mistakes, and so I put together a list of different signs that you can look for in order to not involve yourself in that type of mess. And so you can learn from the mistakes that I made so you don't have to go through them. But if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every single week, and make sure that you comment down below on things that you want to see for the future and give this video a like. Also, follow me on my Instagram, which is at Lanz MacDonald. Okay, let's get right into it. The first sign of a player seems so obvious to me now, but it did not back then. If you are just beginning to talk to somebody, and they are already giving you sweet lines like, you're different, or you're different than anybody else that I've talked to, or you make me feel a different type of way, it's just a line. It doesn't mean that you're not great, but the fact of the matter is, you have not even given that person a reason to believe that you are someone special. One thing that I've learned from my past dating experiences is that people are pretty much willing to say whatever they have to get you. It's all a part of the chase. The best thing you can do, especially if you're skeptical, is to ask the person why you're different. If they are giving you superficial compliments, or I like to call them copy and paste compliments, where you could take that and just apply it to any person you meet, it's not specific to the person, then you know that they're just playing you. The second point I want to bring up is if the person you're talking to says all of their exes are crazy. Run away. I have so many points to make about this. So right off the bat, if someone says all of their exes are crazy, immediately what that shows to me is that they are omitting any type of ownership or contribution that they had in creating a toxic dynamic. I'm not saying that there aren't crazy exes. Trust me, we've all dealt with them. But the fact of the matter is, the person you're talking to needs to take ownership for the fact that they chose to stay in a toxic dynamic. There was probably some part of them that was feeding that fire. And I'm speaking from experience here. Some of the guys that I have dated said that every woman in their past was crazy, and I chose to stand by him and agree with him, only to find out that I ended up becoming the women that they talked about. It's not that those women were crazy, it's that the man that I was talking to was the one that was creating such an unhealthy environment where these people started to question their own sanity and act out of character. And if you check them on this and you start to say, well, like, okay, so if they were so bad and if they were so crazy, why did you stay with them? And they start to say things like,
oh, well, I was a different person when I was with them.
Personalities are fixed. They are a collection of the morals and the values that we build throughout our lifetime. It's almost instinctual. If that person is trying to justify that they were a different human being when they were with the person of their past, all they're doing is giving you signals that you're about to experience whatever that past relationship was. Literally, what are the chances that every single person in their past was crazy and they just happened to be a victim of all of it? Nope. Next. And this leads me to my third point. Being a player is a choice. Just like how monogamy is a choice, it is a value that that person is holding to them. There are many people in this world that have had very bad things happen to them, and they still don't choose to end up playing the entire female population or the entire male population because of what's happened in their past. This is a constant that I see in players that try to justify themselves, and pick up on this if you're talking to someone that you may perceive to be a player. You're talking to someone and they're still in that place where they still hold so much resentment towards the people of their past, and they're still very bitter about the world. You are not going to be the person to pull them out of that. Somebody has to want to change. That's the key. Players have indulgent personalities. One person is never enough because that person could check off 99 boxes, but if there's somebody else that checks off the one box you're missing, they will risk it all to make sure that they can also experience that. We need to remind ourselves that Beyonce got cheated on. Beyonce. Doesn't matter if you don't like her music, we can all agree that that is a strong woman. She is stunning. She's a businesswoman. She's one of the most epic performers of our generation, arguably one of the most famous celebrities we know. She has bared children. She was pregnant while she was on tour. The list goes on and on and on, and she still got cheated on. It says nothing about her. It's the fact that she was with somebody who still felt like he was lacking something. There was somebody for one night that fulfilled one of those boxes that she didn't check, and he was willing to risk it all. So when I say being a player is a choice, it is a value that someone is actively and consciously choosing for their life. So this point is one that took me a while to realize in my dating life. And it's that not all exes are spiteful. What I mean by that is, when you're talking to somebody, you tend to take their side on everything. So this kind of leads back to what we were talking about before, about them saying like, all my exes are crazy and this and that. And so naturally you try to demonize the people of their past. I'm not saying that you have to take the ex's word as the truth, but keep it in your back pocket, keep it in the back of your head. What this is going to allow you to do is separate yourself from the person you're talking to and start to look at things objectively. Think of yourself as a judge. Look at both sides and look at the indicators of who might be telling the truth. The craziest experience for me was that I started to fill the shoes of the women that I was demonizing. And then I started to realize I became that person. And it wasn't because those women were spiteful and they were saying, oh, he's not to be trusted, just because they were jealous that we were talking. They were just simply warning other people that they didn't want me or anybody else to go through those experiences. Okay, so for the next point, this is the biggest one, and this is one that is going to save you from so much heartbreak. You are not going to be the one to change the player. If you have identified all of these red flags and you still choose to stay, you are just digging your own grave. And that's the biggest thing. Sometimes it's the strongest people that get played. Because what happens is strong people know their value. They know what they offer, what they bring to the table, and they expect that they're going to be enough to change the player. This was my biggest issue. I took men on as projects. I didn't look at them for who they were and say, okay, no, I deserve to have somebody who is equally as loyal and equally as strong. I took the people that had these hard luck stories or demons of their past, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be the one to change them. And guess what happened? I had their attention for a bit, or at least I thought I had their attention in the beginning. And then I came to realize later on that they were still going about their ways behind my back when I wasn't around. At the end of the day, if you are becoming like the ugliest version of yourself, you're losing sleep over somebody, no one should ever make you feel like that. And this is the simple part about not changing people, knowing that you are not going to be the person to change them. At the beginning of any relationship, that person will let you know if you mean something to them. You won't have to question it. When you are happy, you just are. The happiest people don't have to justify why they're happy. They just feel that way. In the same way that those who feel secure in a relationship don't need to constantly check and get validation that they are secure. Whoever you are with, their actions should speak for themselves. You should not be trying to mold and twist them into the perfect version of the partner you want. When did it become our job to fix people? Shouldn't we be entering into relationships where you go with the question like, what do you offer me? And the only thing that happens in these project relationships is a massive power imbalance. You've basically shown them that they can do anything and you're going to forgive them. They can still act in their previous ways. They can act like a player. They can go flirt at the club, and you're going to talk it through with them and try to articulate yourself in why they should change. and you are going to be wrapped around their finger. And the last point I want to make is that I know the people watching this video, including myself, are not perfect. If you have ever been the person who gets a rise out of going for taken men or women, you are equally to blame. If you are satisfied being the side person, what does that say about how much you value yourself? In the moment, you think it's because you're better than the person that person's with. You think that you're hotter or more exciting. That's not the case. As I've mentioned before, you are a different flavor and you are just a pawn in the player's game. You're not going to convince them to leave that person for you. And even if you do, listen to these words carefully. What they do with you, they will do to you. You are exciting to them for now. And then what's going to happen is you're going to become their constant, and there's going to be somebody else who catches their eye, just like you did before. So like I said, if you were the person that is helping do the cheating, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, you deserve better. Why wouldn't you want to be with someone that chooses you first, not second, or third, or maybe even fourth? Even if you don't want relationships, say you're just playing the field, you're seeing what you like, be with single people that want to court you, that want to wow you, not hide you and delete your messages and save your name under a different one in their phone. I don't know if you guys have been cheated on before. I'm assuming a number of you have, because sadly, it's so normalized and glamorized in our society. But the pain of being cheated on is so real. It actually feels like open heart surgery. When I found out that I was cheated on, I remember my heart not only felt like it was bleeding, but it like dropped to my stomach. I just went weak. Why would you be the person that wants to cause that pain to others? What you're going to see is that you are going to face a life of meaningless, shallow relationships, and you will eventually become the victim of your own actions. That is it for this week's video, guys. I hope you liked it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos every single week. Comment down below on what you want to see for the weeks to come, and follow me on my Instagram, which is @Lanz MacDonald. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next week.